All right, here we go. Um, I believe I am recording. I have my phone here just in case. There's echo. All right. Boom. Perfect. We're live. Thank you so much for joining me today for the VirtuEL 2020. I'm so delighted to be presenting again. And yeah, I'm so excited to be here. So today we're going to be talking about using Flipgrid as an assessment tool. And this is a tool that I learned how to use once we started distance learning back in March. So yeah, I hope you get a lot out of this. And I'm still learning how to use this too. And I just found it was such a great, helpful tool that my students really, really enjoyed. Not only was it helpful for me, but my students loved it. So yeah, let's dig into this. So our outcomes today, we'll first review just a few assessment types, just some basics just to get us started. And then we'll talk a little bit about Flipgrid. I will not be going into the specifics of how to log in and create accounts and all of that, but I have some resources for you to use, so you can check that out. And then we'll spend the bulk of this presentation just digging into my Flipgrid, and I'll show you my account and my student's account, and you can kind of see how I tweaked it to fit my context. Fab. All right, I see everybody's listening. Perfect. Anyway, just a little bit about myself. My name is Justin, and I am non-binary. I use they, them pronouns. And I have a little link here in my presentation if you're interested to learn more about that and what that means, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions about that. I am here with my wonderful husband, Barak. We live in Chiang Mai, northern Thailand, and this is, I think, my 10th year teaching, almost. And in my 10 years of teaching, I've taught across 4 different countries. And this is our new furry friend, Boomer, whom we just adopted a few weeks ago. So she's our little family here in Thailand. All right. So to begin, let's talk a little bit about different types of assessments. And most of us may be familiar with all of this already. So typically when we think of assessments, we think, of course, our traditional rubrics that we can use. And rubrics come in many different forms. You know, it's not just one type. There's not just one type of rubric for assessment. There's also checklists that we can use for assessment. Maybe you're assessing one-to-one or in a small group using a rubric or a checklist or another type of assessment tool that you can think of. And especially in America, many of us are familiar with formative and summative assessments, meaning formative being like check-ins and progress monitoring, while summative being a bit more formal, and summatives are more evaluative for a grade. So Flipgrid can use all of these types of assessment models to assess our students, both formatively and summatively. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Flipgrid, it is a free social learning tool for not just students, really anybody to use. Students from pre-K to college level can use it, but I've even used it as an adult in our ELL chat book club. Some of you may be familiar with that on Twitter. Katie Topple, who presents, and Tan Hyun, who's also presenting, they organize it. So we've used Flipgrid to connect with each other. And Flipgrid uses this rhetoric of empowering student voice throughout their whole platform. So this is a screenshot of my kids and their videos that they've posted on Flipgrid. Yeah, I use it as a video. It's a video social learning tool. So these kids are posting videos to communicate with each other. So yeah, this is my class from last year and all of their goofy glory. I miss them so much. Anyway, as I was researching Flipgrid, this video. Okay, so if you're not sure how to use Flipgrid or how to access it, if you might need some help on the technical side, I've linked this video in the presentation that you'll have access to after this. It's a really, really great video that gives you a step-by-step setup for how to get your Flipgrid started, how to create an account and create a topic and do all of those basic things that'll help you do a little bit more of the advanced stuff that I will show you. So when looking for some research and quotes about Flipgrid, I came across these two quotes from Teacher Tech Academy, and it was only until this night or this evening where I decided that I don't like them because these quotes focus on a lot of what the students can't do, and we as teachers should really affirm students and validate their experiences and focus on what they can do. So I changed these quotes a little bit, a lot of it actually, and I decided this was a better wording for them. So, you know, in our classrooms, our assessment results, of course, can vary depending on the student, but using multiple assessment methods creates access for our disabled and neurodivergent student population, meaning a pencil and paper assessment type, for example, really creates only limited access for a very specific group of students. And Flipgrid can be used as a tool to create those diverse assessment methods. And it creates also a safe space for students to express their thoughts and ideas and to communicate with one another. And I quoted myself because I said it. Yes. Anyway, I changed the wording around to be a bit more positive and be a bit more affirming. So with that being said, let's dive into Flipgrid. So I'll show you what I have done to cater these this tool for my context. So first, this is what a Flipgrid topic looks like. It's a lot, I understand. So bear with me. We have a GIF image that kind of gets students' attention. And then here is our topic. So in this particular assignment, Flipgrid assignment, we read this book called Bigfoot Cinderella, and we're writing opinion statements. And our assignment was writing an opinion about Ella, who is a character in the story, and her character traits. Now, within this assignment, I've attached a YouTube video of me modeling the assignment, sentence stems and sentence frames that students can use to support their thinking, and a rubric that I'll be using to formatively assess student responses. So when the students come to this assignment, they can see that I've attached my video. They can see and download my sentence stems that I created as a PDF. And they can also see the rubric. And as I watch their videos, I assess them using this, and I send this back to the parents and to the students, and we might have a coaching session one-on-one during our virtual meetings. So, and then down here are all of my student responses, which I'll show you in just a moment. Now, how to customize all of this, actually, I'll show you one student response now. I asked the students' family permission to show this first. So the students have the prompt, they have the tools and the support if they want to use it. And here I've created a customized rubric that aligns directly with the Common Core standards because we're a Common Core school. And I'm assessing the speaking and listening standard and this writing standard. So let me play the video. I hope you can hear it. I'm not sure how this, last time I did this, live viewers weren't able to hear it, but let's give it a go. All right. That's workable. Can't hear it. Cool. Y'all can imagine it. Anyway, so they have the response that they share, and then I can respond to it with a video as well. And their peers can also respond to it. And now my students are all in first grade, so I felt it easier to keep their login information simple and they don't have to use an email to log in. But if their parents use an email to log into their Flipgrid, you can leave personalized video feedback as well as private comments that only they can access. But students need a email account attached to the site. So I want to take a moment just to share with you kind of the ins and outs of how I set this all up. So when you create a topic on your Flipgrid, you create your title, your prompt. I attach the links to this prompt. You can set a recording time. I always give lots and lots of time so students can speak at their own pace. And I've also attached my rubric on here directly from Google Docs so kids can access it. All this stuff is not helpful. So this is the assessment part. In the feedback section of each topic that you create on Flipgrid, it comes with basic feedback that assess ideas and performance. But if you click on custom feedback, you can create your own assessment criteria. And since we're a Common Core school, the assessment criteria that I've created aligns with the Common Core reading, speaking, listening, and writing standards. If you click on Add Criteria, you can create your own criteria that's completely dependent on your context, and you can also edit the scoring based off of your reporting. So in my context, we use standards-based grading, and on their report cards, they get a 1 through a 4 showing their progress. So I change all of this from 0 to 100 to 1 through 4. And when I go back to their video and I watch it at home or at school, I can then give them a score based off of their performance. And this is what it looks like from the student view. So in the student view, it's very simple. They have their resources and they can post their videos and comment on their friends' videos. And when they comment on their videos, this is all that they see. They only see the video. They don't see your private feedback. So it keeps it very personalized for the students. All right, so that was pretty much everything I was going to show you about how to use Flipgrid for this very specific purpose. Now, with anything, it's not perfect, right? So there are a few pitfalls, as I like to call them, with this learning tool. So first off, of course, we always have to be thinking about access, especially in the US. We don't know our students' internet situation. Maybe they have internet, maybe they don't. And also computer access. You'd be surprised at how many families don't have computers at home. They might have a work computer, but they don't have a computer for their student, just have a phone, right? And this, you can use this on a phone. This has an app, but it's not ideal. And also, there are some families that I work with who have 4 or 5 children, school-age children, and 1 computer at home. So we have to really be thinking about access and how we can meet the needs of our students, and maybe this tool may not be a good fit for them. And also, independence is another, not issue, but just another thing I've noticed with Flipgrid. In the video, you weren't able to hear it, but his dad was the student's dad was walking him through the writing, and helped him a little bit with it, which was pretty obvious to me. But at the end of the day, this was just a very formative assignment, and really the focus was just kind of practicing speaking and practicing those opinion sentences. And then engagement, of course, I think we've all run into this online, is you have these tools or these systems set up and not everybody utilizes it, even if they have access. So Flipgrid is not an expectation that everybody participate in. I think maybe 12 or 13 students on average of my 17 student class took part in Flipgrid. Some kids didn't like wearing headphones. They thought it was very strange to be talking into a computer, and it made them feel very uncomfortable. So we did something else with them. So we need to make sure that we're always being accommodating to student needs. I went a bit fast, but so I'm going to finish a little early. Anyway, this is my contact information. You can always email me for questions. I'm pretty active on Twitter. You can check out my Twitter. I do have a website where I post about best practice and social justice things that I'm doing in my classroom. And every month I facilitate a queer EDU chat on Twitter, #queer_EDU chat. And every month we have a different facilitator, and they choose a topic, and we talk about queer related things within the education realm. And we take a break over the summer, but we're going to start again in August. So we'd love to see you there, and so we can all learn from each other. Right now, I can take some questions for a few minutes. Let me see if you have any. So if you have any questions, check it out. I read that, does Flipgrid link easily to Canvas? I don't know what Canvas is, so I can't tell you. However, Flipgrid videos can be embedded in emails and on YouTube, and they can be downloaded. So you can upload links to whatever platform you use, as long as they support it. So I'm assuming Flipgrid is pretty accessible. So you can do a lot with it. And this session is recorded. It'll be on YouTube. Absolutely. And maybe I can see a way, or I can embed my students' video on presentation, so that way y'all can see it if you're interested. Easy link to Schoology. I would assume so. I've used Schoology, but I've never used it with Flipgrid. And I hear someone says that. I read someone said it does link with Canvas, which is great. I'm going to be checking this out on Canvas. I haven't used it before. I'm going to be checking this out. Cool. Well, y'all, why don't you take a bit of a break before our next presentation. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope you got something out of this. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. All right, y'all. See ya. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the presentation.